speed! Super cat speed! Super cat speed!
So I'm Maria Cummins. My husband goes by Jim, and Stephen is our only son so far. So Stephen was diagnosed on the autism spectrum at age 2, just about a month before his 2nd birthday. So it wasn't anything super obvious with Stephen. It was just he was always super gradual to meet all the milestones. In his diagnosis now is that he's verbal. After 4, he became much more verbal, which was great. But he's not conversational. So you won't necessarily get a huge back and forth.
Time at school today? Okay. Did we have a good time at school?
Yes.
Mommy saw you do what?
Mommy saw us.
Mommy saw me at school.
Yes.
And you worked with Mrs.
KedziorskiStephen.
You know, you don't have that connection like the, television family or even the families around you. So not until this year where Stephen's really sort of blossoming and coming into this incredible personality has he really been able to, and I think that's hard. You don't hear your child say I love you or anything like that until after 4, and I think that's a bit of a struggle. It puts a weight on you because you're not experiencing everything like you think you should be, but you're really experiencing a beautiful thing. It's hard to complain about it because there's so much beauty in what we see and go through as well.
Coco, our Father prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
I think that's the hardest for him, is to sort of make up things
Amen.
on his own instead of just copying and mimicking and scripting. I try and sort of branch out and give him opportunities to kind of think more abstract and not what's right in front of him. So he memorized like the Our Father. So then after a couple nights of repeating it, he was like, why am I saying the same prayer every night? So he would kind of be a little fussy, and so I changed it, and I was like, well, let's do a thank you prayer. And that is normally very hard for him to think kind of outside of what he knows verbatim. He was able to, I was like, well, what are you thankful for? And so it got into this really sort of nice back and forth where he was pulling from his favorites and got the concept of being thankful.
3 more things. You pick.
Thank you for Andrew and Lucas.
Andrew and Lucas, really nice thing to be thankful for. 2 more.
Thank you for the karate.
Karate, yeah.
Thank you for the school.
Thank you for school. Those are beautiful. And then you say, Amen.
Amen.
That was really nice, pal. Really good prayers.
I couldn't find an OT that was strong enough, or really a speech therapist that was strong enough, and so that's where I turned to Easter Seals. Monday afternoon, he has OT. Tuesdays, we've been filling it with an extra karate session. Wednesdays is OT and speech. Thursdays is karate. Fridays is speech. Saturday mornings is karate, and then I usually use Saturday and Sunday for free time and having fun.
My name is Gifty Abraham, and I am Stephen's occupational therapist. Stephen he's a fun kid. I picked him up around end of September. It's been about 6 months. Oh boy, he's come a long ways. So just working towards independence still, but he's definitely learned a lot of that too along the way. Yes, my name is Julianne Confolinari, and I am a speech and language pathologist. Stephen is a very vivacious and outgoing youngster. I believe he has a very tender heart. He really enjoys being around people. He's willing to interact and try new things. Very joyful to be around. We're coming up on our 2nd anniversary pretty soon. When we started therapy, he was essentially nonverbal. He maybe had a few single words here and there, but we have gone from being non-communicative, if you will, to speaking in full sentences. So he has come a long way.
Then
My name is Master Bill Thompson. I'm Stephen's martial art instructor. You know, Stephen's personality, he's a very energetic, curious boy. Yeah, when Stephen first came in, we put him in just a regular class right at the first, and it was rather loud, and there was a lot going on, and he was just, you know, overwhelmed by it. What we do is, for Stephen's kids, is two things. First of all, we do things over repetitively. Also, what we do with them is that we hold them to the same standard that I would hold anybody else coming in. Because, for instance, he can do it, he just has to be held to the standard, because the body will remember it.
There's always an upward, you know, sort of climb with Stephen, albeit gradual. It's always there, and the instant I ever see him plateau with anything, I'm always jumping to go to the next level or to up everybody's ante in the group. I mean, and everyone on our team, whether it be school or whether it be his therapist or everywhere, I just kind of stay on top of it. You know, sometimes considered pushy, but I have to, you know, kind of push everyone to stay where he is and above. If we get anxiety as adults, then we relay that. Any kid. So being as sensitive as Stephen is, and a lot of special needs kids are sensitive, it's so important, I think, and so hard. And then we pick up and go. Yeah. You know? So I think that that's really important to create that security for them. If that's one thing that we can sort of help and control, that we have to kind of take a little time to do that.
good job.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it. He loves to be outside. He loves that trampoline, so it's a great escape for him. So when he has a long day at school, therapy, karate, can come home and we give him his iPad time and trampoline time. So it's just nice seeing him to really calm down and really enjoy himself.
Super Gatsby.
Again. Go right there in the front.
I think that what parents need to keep in mind when they're new and fresh to this is to not go directly to those stereotypes. Do you know what I mean? That so many other people do. The phrase that everyone says, you've met one person with autism, means you've met one person with autism. It really does mean you've met one person.
Go in so you can drink some water. Go in.
Don't allow yourself to get on the internet and start reading all this. That's going to put your mind in a box and then put your child essentially in a box as well. I wouldn't do it with a typical child. I wouldn't do it with a non-typical child.